Hello Cub Scouts, it is still a lovely day. The birds have not gone to our feeder yet, but they keep eyeing me and I think they're mad that I'm in the backyard. I suspect that if I leave the backyard they would actually use it. So for those of you who are working on your Earth badge or who need an Earth Day project, I thought we would look at food scraps and growing from food scraps. So sometimes when we buy a bag of potatoes from the store and forget about them, the potatoes start to sprout. And you can see that this potato wants to grow, it desperately wants to grow. And so we are going to help it. So I am going to grow a potato plant or two, actually I could do more, with this one potato. So what do I need? I need a cutting board and I need a knife. And I'm going to make sure that I have some eyes on both sides of my cut. Let's see.
What are eyes?
Oh, these are things called eyes. These are where the plants are starting to sprout. Okay. And I'm just going to cut it right there. And I'm going to put this in the dirt. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And Scout or Alex can take a look at the pot that I'm using. I'm using pots because I don't have room in my garden. But if you have room in your garden, you can put it right into the dirt. But I'm putting it in the pots, and the pots are a little different today. Usually I would have the dirt up to here and I'd have flowers, but I'm going to grow potatoes, and potatoes are a little different because potatoes like, well, we do something called hilling them. So as the plant grows, we put more and more dirt around them. I'm going to mimic that by putting them in a pot, and I will add more and more dirt to them over time. So into the dirt goes my potatoes, and I'm just going to cover with a little bit of dirt. I don't need a lot. And that is it. I'm going to give it a drink of water a little later and my potatoes will grow, and in a few days we should see potato plants starting, and we will keep track of our potatoes as they grow through the season. Well, we're going to continue on our theme of growing food from scraps, or plants from scraps, and you don't even need to have dirt. You can do this in water, and if you live maybe in an apartment or someplace that doesn't have access to a garden, this is a great way of starting plants. So one of the simplest ways I find is with garlic. So this is a bulb of garlic from the grocery store. And this is what happens to it after you put it just in a little bit of water, and that is 1 week of growing. And in fact, now if I take this out, you can see where the roots were are new roots. And we have new shoots growing, and actually you can see that I can separate these now and I can plant them in dirt, and I can actually get more of these to grow. So I think there's going to be a bumper crop of garlic at Scouter Dawn's house this fall. Stay tuned. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is with something like green onions. So these are my oldest ones. This is the newest one. So basically this is the end of a green onion, and I've used this part in salads and all sorts of good things. And I just put these ends into water, and over time you can see that the roots start growing again, and then the tops start growing. And in fact, you could just keep this growing in water and using this, or you can plant it in dirt afterwards. So if I put it out, you can see how it grows, oops, over time. One thing though, when you use the water method, you do need to change the water every once in a while, otherwise it might get stinky and start rotting. We don't want them to rot, we want them to grow. Alrighty, and last, I have another experiment on the go. Nothing much with the carrots so far, so I just cut some carrots up, and I have the top, and I have it sitting in water that's about 3 days old. We'll see if anything else starts growing. I have a celery heart. Now, if I take a look, right in here, I can start to see new leaves coming. So this one is starting to grow. Even though all I did was I cut it off, I have the celery in the fridge that I'm going to use, and the part that I would throw out normally, I have growing again. Now this one is lettuce. And it doesn't look so pretty right now, but it is alive. I'm going to try it again. And I noticed the other day that I have sprouts on the side that are growing. So I have little sprouts all over the side. When this gets a little bigger, I might just put it in the dirt in my garden and have lettuce. And then last, I have an onion. And very much like the garlic and the green onions, I'm looking for the roots to start growing. And I wasn't too sure if it was starting to grow, but I can see, yes indeed, the center is starting to grow. That was not green when I started. So again, just in a little water. So for any of you guys who would have a head of lettuce, like I said, you can just slice it off.
If you have your knife permit.
Or if you have permission from Mom and you're being supervised, put it in the water and let's see if it grows. And then this is dinner.
Ew.
Scott or Alex doesn't like salad.